Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you very much for being given this opportunity to talk about the climate science for community practitioners. Climate change has really affected many communities in the world. And this is because of activities, human or nature activities. In my community, Shibuye Community Health Workers, which is a member of Wairu Commission, we've been working tirelessly to empower grassroots women to be resilient whenever they are affected by climate change. In Shibuye Community Health Workers, we have climate centers. These are places established by grassroots women working on resilience in order to translate and interpret climate information to the people. We have two types of information that we rely on. From the meteorological department, which is run by the government. And we have the local climate information, which we also rely on. The meteorological department reaches people who have phones, radios, or televisions. And most of our grassroots women are not able to afford the phones or the radios. So because of this, the established information centers, Shibuye Community Health Workers collect this information and then put them in a central place where we call the climate information centers, where the grassroots women who are not able to access phones and radios come on weekly basis to learn about the information that has been collected from the meteorological department. And then the indigenous information is where you look at the trends in the community, like birds migrating or ants from one place to the other. When you see this taking place, we have special people, experts, who can interpret to you that when you see birds moving from one area to the other, it's because they are foreseeing a lot of rain or prolonged drought. So the birds may be moving for safety or to look for food in case it has been predicted that there's going to be a prolonged drought. In the climate information centers, grassroots women compare both the information, and by doing this, they are able to give a projection to the community, for some weeks, for some months, or even a period of a year. Why are these climate information centers important? The climate information centers helps the grassroots women in preparedness, i.e., in case there is going to be prolonged rain or prolonged drought, the grassroots women are able to gauge or to decide on what type of crops they are supposed to plant in case there is going to be prolonged drought, or in case there is going to be heavy rains, because there are different variety of seeds that you are supposed to use during the short rains and the long rains. Maybe the crop is the same, like the corn crop or the bean crop, but we have varieties that we are supposed to use during short rains and long rains. We as an organization have really tried to build partnership, both with the meteorological department, which is run by the government, and the local community, which harvests the traditional weather knowledge. Shibuye is a go-between these two parties, whereby we are able to invite people from the meteorological department and people from the local weather department, plus the grassroots women, bring them together so that those from the meteorological department, in their own language, can easily interpret the meteorological science or the information, the weather information that we have collected from them. They are able to interpret in a simpler language to the grassroots woman so that they are able to understand. And in case there is any contradiction, they are able to differentiate. By doing this, the grassroots women are able to empower each other. Even we have those who just stay in the community are not able to attend such seminars or attend such meetings where these two parties meet. But when we have at least a good number of grassroots women attending, they go back to the community and are able to empower the others who are just stay-at-home women. They're able to interpret to them what has been forecasted, and this has really helped them. The meteorological department uses these centers to send the information to grassroots women because they are not able to reach these grassroots women one-on-one. So by us working with them and storing the information in the climate information centers, we help them to reach a bigger number. Like we have science, like the meteorological department uses visual signs, like when it's going to rain heavily, or when we are expecting a lot of wind, heavy winds or prolonged droughts. So when we store this information in the meteorology in our climate centers, we are able to interpret to the grassroots women, so that if they come across such signs even elsewhere apart from the climate information centers, they are able to understand and even translate it to the other grassroots women in the community.
Thank you.